Both the US and Iran reigniting hostilities over the course of the weekend, including last night. The US saying it carried out a new wave of attacks, hitting dozens of targets at different locations. Central Command said the attacks are designed to deter Iran from targeting international ships and in the crucial shipping route of the Strait of Hormuz. Let's bring in our military analyst, Sean Bell, who's here with us. What's the latest, really, the strikes overnight?
Yeah, good morning. I mean, the 17th of June, the MOU was signed. It's nearly a month ago now. It sort of felt like peace in our time, that it was end, everyone's move on. It was nothing like that. It was simply a memorandum of understanding, a framework of intent. There were no details in there. But we've now seen a week of escalating violence. All of it seems to have been started by Iran attacking commercial shipping. And as you said, the US striking dozens of targets overnight. The US Central Command has actually said that the reason they've struck them is to degrade Iran's ability to attack commercial shipping in the Straits. We're seeing some of the attacks now. In response, though, the IRGC has done exactly what they've done over the last few days. They've attacked a whole series of regional targets. Interestingly, it doesn't seem to be targeting energy infrastructure. It seems to be targeting US military facilities. So in Jordan, for example, the Prince Hassan Air Base, Bahrain, the army infrastructure and drone command and control, Kuwait and Oman have also been struck as well. But overall, it feels like the ceasefire is over. Iran claims the Strait of Hormuz is closed. America claims it's open. Regardless, there's very little traffic actually going through, and there's still a massive blockade of traffic waiting in the Persian Gulf.
So the ceasefire seems to be in the rearview mirror. Looking forwards, where does this leave the peace process?
Yeah, I think, unfortunately, the peace talks do apparently keep going on. It does appear. Both sides want the Strait of Hormuz to open. They're both incentivised to make that happen, but they seem to have a different interpretation of the Memorandum of Understanding. I keep a copy of it with me here because we've referred to it so much. Clause 5 is the interesting one. Again, it's meant to be generic, but Iran has interpreted that as they are in control of the Straits. They've got to make best efforts to ensure the safety of passage. If we look at the graphic behind us, just north of Oman, there's a big sort of area which is the sort of, there's a minefield, a dangerous area there. So Iran, taking their responsibility, said, no, you've got to flow up past Larak Island, up to the north there, and to keep yourself well clear. Now, America all of a sudden went, hang on a minute, we don't want to actually cede control. They forced open a southern route channel. But of course, every time people use that, Iran say, we can't guarantee security. They warn the shipping and then they fire a drone. And the danger is that the process is meant to be by day 30, you start to clear the minefield. Once you've cleared the minefield, traffic can flow, you can decide what you're going to do, and then you go on to the nuclear talks. We haven't even talked about that, and that's the main part. And the irony here is that right at the start of the war, Iran was a pariah state with no control, dreadful economy. Now they've got leverage, they've got control of the Strait of Hormuz, and quite frankly, most of the Middle East countries down here just want their oil to flow again and probably wouldn't care if some form of toll was charged, because frankly, it's a marginal cost for them.
We've seen this map before. We've talked about strikes before. We've talked about choke points in the Strait of Hormuz before. We've talked about months of conflict before. It leaves one to wonder, can the US even solve this by force, even if it wanted to?
I think that's the pertinent question, quite frankly. Military action is a means to an end. It's not an end in itself. You have to have strategic objectives, and the military create the environment in which that can prevail. The US is no doubt, as President Trump regularly says, they have actually decimated Iran's conventional military capability, but that has not delivered strategic success on the ground. And it does appear now what the US is trying to do is actually open the Strait of Hormuz by force. The harsh reality is that they can probably get a few ships through, but it's not sustainable. And commercial traffic is all driven by insurance, and there's going to be nobody who's going to deliver that. So there's no doubt US has degraded US Iranian military, but the Iranians have had 35 years to prepare the Strait of Hormuz with fast patrol boats, mines, drones, anti-ship missiles and the like. And quite frankly, it is interesting that the US have started using uncrewed surface vessels and one-way attack drones, we've heard. We don't know which sort yet. But the interesting bit about it is the model they've been using is the FLM 136. 136 is the same number because it's a copy of the Shahed 136 drones that were invented by Iran that are now being used by Russia against Ukraine. So America has now developed the same technology.
What goes around comes around.
I know, it's quite... the more we get on that, the more I'll let you know. But basically, America has not defeated Iran. Iran knows that, and therefore, for President Trump at the moment, it feels like the age-old lesson, play the hand you have, not the hand you want. Stay focused on the strategic objectives rather than simply trying to win a war that's unwinnable.
Staying focused has proven tricky at times during some of those press conferences. Sean, good to see you. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Worth remembering, of course, on the first day of this war, there was a bombing against a school in Iran, in Manab. Around 150, if not more, children and staff were killed. And a reminder, actually, that Iran school bombing, The Search for Truth, an investigation film running on Sky News and Sky Documentaries this coming Thursday at 9 p.m. Do check out that in a couple of days' time.